My driver just got here, so Bruce escaped. Oh, Rango! No! Oh, they all escaped. Okay. You can't control these anarchist dogs. No leashes. They don't listen to me. So we still got these cucharas or whatever they're, cicadas. But they're less and less every day now. It's kind of funny, my dog Lucy, this one, she came into my office a couple days ago, and I thought she was like possessed by demons or something, because she's tiny, and she comes in and she's like, and I'm like, what? And it was super loud, the buzzing, and then I'm like, Lucy, what's going on? What's wrong? And she spits out this giant bug, which I guess is these cicadas. It's really big. And it was alive in her mouth and vibrating. So Lucy likes to play with them, apparently. Anyway, it's like 7:30 in the morning or so. Finally, like 100% back onto my routine. Even a few days ago when I said I was back on my routine, I really wasn't, because I was still waking up around 9 in the morning. I can tell when I'm getting really good is when I need to, I feel sleepy around 9 at night, and I'm asleep at 10, and then I wake up around 6 or at latest 7. If I'm not doing that, I've learned that I'm not very healthy. Seems whenever I get my healthiest, the clock just automatically adjusts. So I've been learning a lot about health stuff, really. Been watching a lot of Dr. Morse. If you don't know that, check it out. Really grown to appreciate his work. Everything he says makes total sense, as opposed to medical doctors who, when they talk about health, they don't even have a clue. They don't even know what they're talking about. Your average medical doctor, you're like, so how do people be healthy? They'll be like, eat 3 square meals a day with the 4 basic food groups. Holy shit. Like, you went for like 8 years of school to know nothing. Actually, worse than nothing. To know the wrong things. So yeah, whenever health's involved, do not listen to any medical doctors. So Dr. Morse calls himself a natural doctor. I guess they call him naturopaths or something. Makes total sense. He talks a lot about you could actually read your own health in your eyes, which makes a lot of sense, actually, the way he describes it. And apparently this is a well-known practice called iridology. So I'm waiting to get a consultation. I'm going to probably do with Patty Lager, who was on Anarcast a couple weeks ago. And our plan is to actually videotape the consultation. And I was wondering where I was going to put that. I'll probably put it here on my personal channel, because this is where I'm talking about the health experiences I'm going through. And I've seen a few people mention that I really ragged on the health ranger because of his stupid comments, and really they were stupid. I'm not just saying it to be. They were dumb, like ridiculously ignorant comments on Bitcoin. And I said, stick to vitamins. And so a few people know about this channel that I'm doing, and they went on, they said, why don't you stick to, finance and cryptocurrency, stop talking about health. Well, the reason I'm talking about it is this is my personal experience. And I'm not telling you what to do or anything. I'm just telling you what's happening to me, and maybe this can help you. And what I'm learning as well, and this could be wrong or whatever, but I want to get this information out there because I'm finding it makes a lot of sense. So Patty's going to do a consultation with me. She's going to look at my iris scans, or a photo of my eyes, and apparently, according to these people, they can tell pretty much anything about your health from your eyes, and your eyes will actually change as your health improves. And I've actually noticed that. I've said that before. My eyes definitely got lighter a few weeks ago. I just noticed it, and apparently that's sort of the case. Is the healthier you are, the more your eyes clear out. A lot of people, for example, according to them, actually have blue eyes, but they look brown, it's because they're so toxic that their eyes have turned brown. And this is not to say that people with brown eyes are toxic. This is to say that people who have blue eyes naturally, but they turn brown, it's because it's toxic. Because you can see it all in the eyes, apparently, according to these people. So I'm really curious, because Jerry, sits. Because of person. I just gotta make sure we get this one. He's the troublemaker. Everyone else is fine. She's fine. No problem. Rango's great. He doesn't care. He likes to bark. Want to see it? Alright. There's usually some dogs up here. We'll see what happens. But he's okay now. Muy bien, Judy. Muy bien. Oh, yeah, here comes some dogs. Oh, that's the white dog. Lara, Ben. Lara, Ben. I don't want to get into a dog fight. Lucy, Ben. Muy bien. See, we're anarchists. We don't want to cause problems. Hey, Judy, another person walking here. Judy, Ben. Judy, sits. Muy bien. Muy bien, Judy. There's another person walking by. Want to see us? Alright. That white dog looks like he's coming this way. We'll see what happens. But they were pretty good last time. They're total anarcho-capitalist dogs, just protecting their property. And my dogs are pretty ANCAP as well. They just don't understand property rights exactly. They don't know what property is. But they learned from those white dogs last time about property rights. Anyway, so I'm going to be doing this consultation. And one of the big things, oh, by the way, this Dr. Morse, it took me a while to get into watching this stuff. This guy, I don't know how old he is, but he's definitely like 60s or 70s. And he does like 3-hour videos every week. And I do videos. 3 hours is, unless you're, I guess, an extrovert, I don't think I am. It's so hard. Like even a 1 hour. I did a 1 hour live stream on YouTube this week. It just knocked me on my ass. I was just exhausted afterwards. He does 3 hours. So, you know, these are long videos he does. And when I first got into him, I was like, okay, but I can't watch the 3-hour video, obviously. I just don't have that kind of time. But I definitely wanted to watch a bit. And, you know, I was like, oh, this is interesting, very interesting. Never heard anyone talk about it this way before. And it makes a ton of sense. But every now and then, he says some stuff that will have you, like, laughing or just smiling. He says some just amazing stuff about life. Like, this guy's a really my kind of guy. So anyway, check that out, Dr. Morse. And one of the big things, and I'm just learning all this stuff right now, is about your kidneys filtering. And here's the thing. Once again, surprise, surprise, everything the medical doctors say is the exact opposite of what these naturopaths are saying. And I tend to believe the natural, actually I do believe the naturopaths, because I know the medical doctors are always wrong on this stuff, like always. They're always trying to fix the symptom and never the problem. This is on purpose, by the way. Doctors may not even realize it because they're kind of stupid. Your average doctor is really good at memorizing stuff. So they're what you call useless eaters or, or useful idiots. They're also useless eaters, but they're useful idiots. Sort of like Ben Bernanke. I don't even know if he knows what a scam the Federal Reserve is. He's just a numbers guy. He's like a idiot savant of math equations. He knows absolutely nothing about the economy. It's the exact same thing with doctors. And Janet Yellen, the exact same thing, by the way. Actually, she's way dumber than Ben Bernanke. I don't even know that. I think that's a joke they put her in. At least Ben Bernanke's kind of intelligent. He's a total idiot and like knows nothing about real life. But he could definitely come off as a bit of an idiot savant of math equations, memorized math equations. Janet Yellen can't even do that. She just sounds like your grandma with Alzheimer's who doesn't even know what the hell she's talking about. But anyway, same as that, the doctors are just, a lot of them are just idiots. And they get told by the culture, that, you know, one of the best things you could ever be is a doctor. And that actually would be true if it was a natural doctor or some sort of emergency, like surgery doctor, like for emergency trauma situations. Those guys are great, no problem with them. But these doctors who help you with your ailments and diseases are useless idiots, useful idiots to the system, because they prescribe billions and billions and billions of chemicals which kill people every year. See, everything's upside down in this world. They want you to believe that drug dealers, your average guy who's selling marijuana, is a bad guy, and they should be in jail. And there's actually literally hundreds of thousands of people in concentration camps in the US, in the land of the free today, for doing that. While this guy who's wearing a white lab coat and actually killing you is, that's one of the best things you could ever be. See, everything is upside down in this world on purpose, for whatever reason. So these, just don't listen to these doctors. But one of the things about that I've been learning from Dr. Morse and looking into it is it's super important that your kidneys are filtering. Now, I'm no expert on any of this stuff. I'm just learning about it all right now. But it's fairly clear, I think, that kidneys are important. I think we can agree on that. They do something, right? Apparently their role is to filter out toxins. That's what I understand. And what apparently happens is that many people's lymphatic system gets so jammed up with gunk because they're so toxic that their kidneys stop actually filtering. And so there's actually an easy test you can do to see if your kidneys are filtering. When you get up in the morning, pee into a jar and see if it's kind of cloudy and full of like sediment, or if it's just clear, light yellow or yellow or whatever color it is. That's not as important, I don't think. But if it's just clear with no sediment, your kidneys aren't actually filtering. If it's like that, you are in very bad shape health-wise. And this will just get worse and worse from here unless you can get the kidneys filtering, from my understanding. So how do you get the kidneys filtering? Well, according to Dr. Morse, you really you do a lot of fasts, a lot of intermittent fasting, and you also have a mostly fruit-based diet. He really recommends red grapes. He says do a red grape fast for a couple days. So all you eat is red grapes. And actually, I was so happy we found a place here that sells organic red grapes. I was so happy. So I've been eating and drinking those daily lately. So my kidneys haven't been filtering. Now, I'm not sure. I just tried this morning, and I forgot to pee into the jar until I was 80% done peeing. But when I remembered, I did. And it looks like there was some sediment in there today. But I don't want to jump the gun because it might not have been. If there is, I'm going to be so happy. Because if I can get my kidneys filtering again, then all the toxins in my lymphatic system, which has caused me all the problems I've had over the years, including mental and spiritual, all the problems, they're all related, will start to drain. So I will actually get incredibly healthy at that point. So I'm not even at that point yet. So a lot of people might say, oh, you're looking pretty good. Sounds like you're feeling really good. And I am. But I'm still not even detoxifying, really. I'm not getting rid of all the toxins in my lymphatic system. Now, one of the interesting things I've also been learning is that exercise is super important. And it's not, see again, society doesn't tell you why. I need to know the answer why before I do anything. I'm like a little kid. You should exercise. Why? And if the answer is, it's good for you, that's not good enough. I need a better answer. For whatever reason, I need a little bit more information. So that was basically it with exercise. I did it in the past. I enjoyed it. I knew I felt better when I did it. And of course I got the benefits of looking better. My body looked better. I was, a lot more ripped and less fat and all that kind of stuff. But I had no idea just how important it was. And the reason is, especially if your kidneys aren't filtering, that's the only way, really. One of the only ways you can get the lymphatic system detoxified. Because when you're exercising, and after this I'll go back on the elliptical machine, I'll do some weights, and I'll get a good sweat going. You'll start sweating and sweating out through your biggest organ, your skin, these toxins. So exercise is incredibly important. So a lot of people will say this, and this is one of the questions I kind of had, and I think I have the answer to it. I could be wrong. But a lot of people will say, okay, so you're on this mucusless diet, you're mostly eating fruit and some vegetables, almost all raw. You say you feel great. What about all these athletes like LeBron James and all these athletes, all of them? They look great. They look amazing. They look like they're super healthy. Even Magic Johnson, who has AIDS, but AIDS is a joke. It doesn't actually exist. That was a big scam. Another big lie. But anyway, even Magic Johnson looks awesome. A lot of these guys look great. Tiger Woods isn't looking so great. I think he's got some serious... He needs some ayahuasca. He needs some serious psychological counseling, obviously. And I actually know where he's at. I've been there. So I know. And he's really at sort of like the bottom right now. I don't know if you've seen his recent mugshots and stuff. He's not looking good. It's kind of sad because the whole story of him is kind of sad. A lot of people say it's great. He's a success story. He was golfing from the age of 2 and became the best golfer in the world. Yeah? Did that make him happy? Doesn't look like it. And I think he's realizing that now. And he's just sort of learning on the fly. Then he got into the whole girl thing, which I did. I don't know how many he did, but I know I did thousands. And that didn't make me happy. Probably didn't make him happy. See, we're lost. But no one knows what we're actually supposed to do. Like, it's great if you want to become the best golfer in the world and you do it. That's awesome. Good for you. But I think he's starting to realize that he thought that would make him super happy. It's not going to make you happy. The things you do along the way might make you happy. And that might be, spending those loving times with certain people, having certain experiences in nature, seeing things, traveling, all that kind of stuff. But, all this, the cult always tells you, oh, you'll be happy if you do this. No. That's why so many celebrities have so many problems. Because they thought, once they were famous, fame's a whole other thing too. I don't know why anyone would want that. I don't want that personally. I kind of do the stuff I do because I'm kind of passionate about it. I kind of feel like this is something I should do, something that I like to do. I like to wake people up, but I have no desire to be famous. Even the small fame I have now, where I get recognized quite often when I'm traveling and stuff, is it's not like something I really love. It's just weird to me. It's like, oh, guess what I'm doing on the internet? People are watching it. But anyway, getting back to the athletes, yeah, sort of went way off course. But getting back to the athletes, so a lot of people say, hey, they're not on this mucusless-free diet. They're eating like pasta and meat and maybe even some dairy products. And look at them. They look like the bastion of health. Well, I think there's reasons for that, and let's talk about them. I think, one, these people are genetic freaks. If you are super genetically good physically, you can almost do anything and look and feel great. Most of us aren't. Some people are just genetic freaks, and that's, you would say that with most athletes, right? Like, look at LeBron James. He does not look like your average person. He's like a genetic freak. So that's one. They are genetic freaks. Oh, Layla. Oh, she's going crazy. Number two is they exercise tons. I think this is super important. This goes back to my point about exercise. So they don't eat what I would say is a great diet for health. They're eating a lot of stuff that would normally clog them up. Their body would spend too much time digesting it, etc. In my opinion, I could be wrong. But they're exercising so much, like at extreme levels, these guys. Try playing a NBA Finals game. I don't think most people could even do it for 30 seconds, much less for 48 minutes or however long it is. So these guys are extreme athletes. So I think that helps. So they're eating stuff that probably isn't really good for their health. However, they are moving so much and sweating out all those toxins and probably just everything just functioning so well that they're probably digesting that stuff fairly quickly. So it's not hurting them as bad as most people. But here's the thing. Rango, no. I'm going to go in this person's house. Rango. Like your average person is not playing like an NBA Finals game every second night, right? Your average person sitting in a cubicle, now they might exercise, but probably not very much. Your average person, right? And actually, most people don't really. So right there, if you're eating a big plate of pasta or a big steak with a big mashed potato, all this stuff that's going to take hours and hours, you know, like a lot of people, after they finish their Thanksgiving dinner or whatever, they're like out for the night. And it's not just the tryptophan, it's just like they can't even move. So that stuff's going to be digesting the whole night. And while it's digesting, the body isn't healing itself, right? So this is the whole point of the mucusless-free diet. So my point is, if you are a genetic freak and you exercise tons, you could probably get away without doing the diet I'm on. If not, you probably can't get away with it, and you should pay attention to it. My question is, what would happen to these genetic freaks if they ate mostly fruit and raw vegetables? This would be very interesting, and I know there's some ultra athletes out there that do this, and they're like freaks. They win these like ultra marathons, like, you know, 100 miles in the Arctic or whatever. These guys are quite often on the similar diet to what I'm on. I'd like to see what would happen with some hockey or football or basketball player who tries it. Now, I know the caloric intake is going to be an issue because these guys, I don't even know what they're burning in a game or even in a practice. They got to be burning, well, it's got to be thousands of calories, right? So that would be the main issue. Can they maintain their weight, their bulk, without eating meat, dairy, pasta, or rice? That's going to be tough. So maybe for those guys, maybe if they just went rice, like a brown rice, a sprouted brown rice, which is a lot easier to digest, with a lot of vegetables, broccoli, all spinach, all this stuff with protein and all that kind of stuff. Not that you need a lot of protein. That would be interesting to see. If anyone actually knows of any athletes out there who are already doing this, let me know, because I bet there already is. I bet someone's already done it. But they don't publicize this stuff. This will not be on CNN. This will not be on the front page of the New York Times. Nothing important will ever be shown to you on those fake stream media. So I got to pay attention to yourself. Just listen to yourself. It's a beautiful day here in Acapulco, fourth most dangerous city in the world. So yeah, on health, so I got this trip coming up. As I mentioned, it's now about a week away. I'm really prepping for it. I'm going to try so hard to stick to all my stuff on this trip. If I can, I will be so happy. If I can't, I will probably be quite sad, or at least a little bit disappointed, because I really am going to try on this trip. Stick to every single thing I'm doing. And that means no drinking, nothing. Stick to my diet, up in the morning, hit the gym, coffee enema. Oh, on the coffee enema stuff, it's kind of funny. I get attacked quite a bit by a lot of these alt-right people now who used to be anarchists, and now they want to call us cowards because we're not scared. And they want to call us, we're not being pragmatic because we don't want to use violence against people who've never hurt us. So Larkin Rose gets attacked even more than me, but he gets attacked, and they call him the jean jacketarian. It's pretty funny. I kind of like that. And someone actually got Larkin out in Acapulco a jean jacket, because he didn't even own one, which said jean jacketarian on it. That was hilarious. He should wear that way more often. My big thing that they attack me on, so I'll be on a site somewhere, and I'll be like, hey, you alt-right Nazis, you know, whatever. And they'll come back, they'll be like, why don't you shove some coffee up your ass? And I'm always like, I think I will, thanks. Because the enemas are amazing. That's a whole other thing. The whole point of what I've been talking about is getting your system moving. A lot of the food just gets stuck. Johnny Cash apparently had 50 pounds worth of fecal matter in his intestines. So did Elvis Presley, apparently. A lot of people do. You look at most of these sort of fat Americans, older people, they have this big distended gut. That's actually just all fecal matter that's just stuck in there. And that's just going to make you as sick as can be. What's one of the ways to help get that moving? Enemas. I think it should be something everyone does, like almost every day. We brush our teeth every night. We want to clean this area. What about all the rest of this? Clean it from the bottom. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, you put things in your butt, you homo. It's like, whatever. I feel awesome doing it. And I do. I didn't actually fully know why, actually. When I first started doing enemas, someone just told me to do them. And I tried it. And I felt so good after the first one, I was like, well, I'm going to do this again tomorrow. And I've been doing it ever since. But I didn't really know the reason why until fairly recently. It's because it helps whatever's in your colon, in your intestines, that stuff will oftentimes just sit there. So after I go to the washroom in the morning, then I do the enema, tons more stuff comes out. So that stuff wouldn't have come out. And all that stuff is fairly toxic. Your feces is where all your toxins come out. Your urine actually isn't toxic at all. You can actually even drink your urine, and it's quite healthy. But your feces is where all the toxins are. So if you're not getting that all out, that's just going to sit there and leak into your bloodstream all day long, all these toxins. So why wouldn't you, every morning, clean that all out? So go ahead and make fun of me all you want for it. I don't care. I feel awesome. So that's my rant for today. It's a good walk today. Feeling good. Kind of sucks because I'm feeling like really good again, like the best that I felt. And I know in like a week or less, 6 days, I'm going on a trip. I just gotta stick to my thing, or at least mostly, you know. Maybe I can not do everything perfectly, but if I can do like 80-90% of it, if I can return home still feeling pretty good, this will be a whole page turned in my book. But we'll see. And if I can't, I'll have to really analyze why I can't even more. And I've been doing that. I actually did something, I think I mentioned it. I did a session with there's a woman named Lynn Swan, and she has this thing called the completion process. Oh, I don't think I mentioned what happened. So I did that for a couple hours. We kind of went back into my childhood. I remembered some stuff. We kind of talked to my inner child. This stuff gets a little weird, but who knows if it helped or not? We'll see. Because what I was realizing, what I talked about before, is I think when I'm traveling, I have two needs. One is, you know, you ride somewhere, I don't care where it is, Hong Kong or New York, wherever it is, and you're alone, right? And you go to the hotel room and you're alone. And here, I just love, I have all these little things with me all the time. Like, it's funny because I actually like to be alone a lot. I love to be alone. But when I'm completely alone and I'm sitting in a hotel room in the middle of nowhere, I think it triggers me to just want to leave the hotel room. I'm kind of, what you call a type A personality, I think, a little bit. And if I'm not doing something, I feel like, you know, bad. So I feel like I got to do something. Oh, I just arrived in Hong Kong. I should go out, right? That's what I think. And on top of it, I'm sitting in the hotel room. I'm like, you know, don't really want to be here. Then I also noticed there's a bar downstairs with a bunch of girls. And I think the whole women thing is a whole other thing. I think I'm still looking for feminine love in some sense that somehow I missed most of my life. So I think all of those combined end up with me arriving in Hong Kong, looking at the bar, going up to my room, dropping my stuff up, going down, having a drink, talking to some girls, and then before I know it, it's 5 in the morning, and I feel like shit. So I gotta fix that part. Now if I can fix that part, I think I will. Everything I've ever focused on in my life, I've fixed. And this is all that talking to yourself and intention and speaking the words. So even the fact that I'm saying I want to change this right now, that actually has effect. One sort of side note on that, there was this high-rise in London that recently burnt down called the Grenfell Tower. I didn't want to mention this too much, especially right the day it happened, because a lot of people, they get all upset. Oh, there was a high-rise fire, so people died. Yeah, that happens every day in every part of the world, all the time. But it was on the news, so people got to get really like, oh, I got to change my profile photo, show solidarity. Okay, go ahead, but it's really like, whatever. So I'm looking into it, and the whole headlines on the fake news was that the people who lived in that building have been saying for years that without a doubt there's going to be a catastrophic event because of what the builders are doing. This goes to my point about speaking. Why do they call it spelling when you write? Because you're actually casting a spell. And even when you write like not print, but you write, it's called cursive. Curse. It's like you're casting a curse. These are, when you speak, write, or do anything, you put it out there, these ideas, it actually creates them. This is something called the law of attraction, and it's very related to all this sort of stuff. So these people who, for years, obsessed that something catastrophic is going to happen, I think they've generally made it happen. So be very careful about what you say. So whenever you say, I'm not good enough, be very careful. Every single time you say that, you're making it so you're not good enough. Or when you say, that makes me sick. It could be anything, right? Like, oh, these cicadas or cicadas, the noise is making me sick. Don't say that, because your subconscious actually hears that. And you actually get sick. So be very careful what you even think. And this goes into meditation. And definitely be very careful about what you say and what you write. And that's why a lot of people say every night, write down the things you're grateful for. Because writing it down actually puts thoughts into actual energy, into motion. It sounds crazy, but that's because we've been raised in a cult that tells us, no, this stuff is possible, right? It's all possible. So when I saw that these people have been obsessing that their building's going to burn down for years, and then it burned down, I would have moved out of that building as soon as everyone was doing that. I was like, don't do that, guys. It's going to happen. You make things happen. So just like that. Oh, there's it. Bruce, Ben. Bruce, Ben. Estamos en mi casa. Bruce. Vengo, Ben. There's the other dogs. I should get going. Bruce likes to fight with that big poodle. Anyway, so just like those people, I have an intention to change, so I will change. It's just a matter of time. Muy bien, Lara. Muy bien, Judy. Ben. Muy bien, Lucy. Rango. Bruce. Muy bien, Bruce. Rango. Rango, Ben. Oh, bien. Los perros vienen. Bruce, Ben. Rango. Wait, Bruce, get up here. Have to get Rango here. Rango. Rango's good. Rango, Ben. Rango. Muy bien, Rango. Muy bien.